gentlemen, and dragons. I am back. I haven't done a video for about, probably, this is probably the fifth week now. But I will recap weeks 13 through 16 in this video and briefly discuss week 17, which is currently happening. So, yeah, I'm just going to jump right into these recaps, the summaries, throw the numbers out there, and then I'll go through a couple of notes that I made. But long story short, this has been, past few weeks has been about really kind of visualizing, really coming to terms with the demands of the training, and not so much physical and not so much the physicality point of it all, but like just finding the time, finding the time, balancing priorities, and that's what it's all about. Like, you don't sign up for a 200-mile event in your fourth year of running and expect to have it all figured out. But training up for my 100 miles last year, it showed me that you just have to, like, something more than nothing is still 100% improvement. So just to keep moving forward, make every day a forward day, and be willing to humble up and know that you know absolutely nothing. That's not really true to say either, but humble up and be willing to learn, be willing to fuck up, honestly, be willing to be uncomfortable, to grow, to learn, to hurt, to cry, to be emotional, to be human. This is the ultimate human experience, is what I'm pretty sure I said it more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times since my quitting THC videos back in February. Every video has been about moving forward one step at a time. And even a couple of times I felt like I went backwards. It was just a matter of really appreciating how far I've literally come. And man, oh man. Anyways, yeah, I'll get to these summaries here. So week 13, which was July 3rd to the 9th, my goal distance was 70 kilometers. I did 68.8. I'm not even going to count walking anymore. Like, there's just too much talking. So my goal was 70. I did 68.8. Not bad, not bad. I'm like 1.2 kilometers. That's not really going to do nothing, so I'm not concerned. Goal time on feet was 8 hours. I did 9.6. Again, I never have an issue with meeting my time on feet goals. Elevation, I came up a little short. I'm not sure why, but it was an easy week. It's really not that much of a concern. So my goal elevation was 1,540, and I finished with 1,400. So, I mean, all in all, that was my easy week. So it was a nice, chill week. Yeah, take your easy weeks easy and your build weeks hard. Well, I mean, not hard, but you know what I mean. Easy weeks should be easy. Easy mentally, easy physically, easy emotionally. So week 14, July 10th to 16th, my goal distance was 110 kilometers. So we're getting up to some big numbers now. So goal was 110. I did 111.1. Time on feet goal was 13. Again, no problems. I ended up with 15.8 hours. And goal elevation 3,400, and I finished with 3,850. So I like to go a little bit above it if I can, if I'm able. So yeah, that week was productive. No real issues that I remember. Other than, there's always going to be social strain, like emotional strain. So God bless my girlfriend. She's such a huge support. She has worked with me in many more ways than running. and I'm at a lack of words for what she's been able to not help me through, but to support me in this whole journey, this whole fucking self emergence, this whole transcendence mission of mine. She's been really pivotal. Her perspective is really refreshing to me, and it has helped immensely. So week 14 was a success. And grinding right along, we went into week 15 pretty strong. Um, oh yeah, so July 17th to 23rd, my goal distance was 120, and we ended up with only 80.5. Um, and I'll get into that in a second, but my goal time on feet was 14 hours. I finished with 16 and a half, and goal elevation was 4,080, and I finished with 4,180. So the only point we didn't hit that week was distance, and that is because I took a little bit of a tumble down the hill that we do repeats on. I fell so awkwardly. I was so scared that I broke my foot. But I ended up only with severely sprained toes. I don't know how I managed it, but my two middle toes, like you have your big toe, and my two middle toes took the brunt of it. I fell so awkwardly. I don't know. It was like a breakdance move down a rock, and I ended up like sitting on my flexed foot with my. I don't know. I don't know how I did it, but maybe I'll put a picture of my toes on there now. But thankfully, nothing was broken. I'm still moving very well on it, although it's still definitely not 100%. But if you're at 100% in like week 17 or whatever we're at now, training for 200 miles, then you're probably not training hard enough. So that week was a bit. And you know what? I'm not even concerned about the shortage of distance, but I wanted to hit my elevation. Elevation is what's going to make or break me at Divide 200. So, and that in time on feet. So I made sure to hit those metrics for sure. And week 16, another build week. July 24th to 30th. Our goal distance was 130. We hit it bang on 130. Time on feet goal was 15 hours. I hit that with 19.3 hours. And elevation is, their numbers are getting up there now. So 4,680 meters of elevation in 1 week was our goal. And we finished with 4,750. Now this requires so many fucking nights of hill repeats. I'm basically leaving work. I'm going to this fucking hill, and I'm doing 1,000 meters at least per night in order to get this elevation in. And then that's not even including like my distance runs or my long runs. But this is taking a lot of dedication, a lot of willpower, a lot of support, a lot of psychological fortitude, and that's exactly what it's all about, really. You're not training your body so much as you're training your mind. You're training your will, you're training your emotional stability, your mental clarity. You're training, like, this is not training for an event. For me, it's about training for life, training myself to see my power that the power that I've been selling short so many years. Like I've always heard the calling. I've said it before. 100 miles kind of. 100 mile last year was about not selling myself short. I trained up so hard for that. And looking back, like I really didn't do enough training, honestly. But this time around, I'm smarter, faster, stronger, whatever, you name it. I've put time into everything, spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical, obviously. So, nice. So that's the recap. I could do a recap this week, but it's been an easy week, honestly. Might as well just do a run through week 17. So my goal is 80 kilometers. I'll finish that easily today. I'll do a 12K run just to round it up. Time on feet, I don't even know. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I wasn't even going to do a recap for week 17. Elevation was about 1900, and I'll finish with over 2000. So we're moving well, moving strong. Last 3 weeks, the next 3 weeks will be build weeks. They're going to be huge, but yeah, I'll get into that here in a second. So a couple little notes I made throughout the review of my events, or not my events, but my activities. So the first one is surrender the illusion of control, identify with the flow of the universe, and let love rule all. Love of self, love of life, and love of joy. So a lot of little tidbits come, a lot of golden nuggets drop out of my brain when I'm like running and I'm posting my runs or I'm sharing them. And this isn't even including in my Instagram inspirations, but it's mostly original words that I've manifested from just the energy from the process. And I like to share. I think that's the whole point of this, is to share the journey, to share the lessons, to share the struggles, the setbacks, and the highs and the lows, and not just with people in my immediate circle or my loved ones, but to kind of illustrate the journey for my daughter, for one, for posterity, for people that people are just curious. Like maybe I'll light the fire somewhere somehow for somebody, and then they'll let their light shine for the world to see as well. So I mean, that's basically what it's all about. I don't really give a fuck about people thinking that I can do hard things or you know, I've tried really hard to separate the ego from all that I do. And it's easier said than done, obviously, but like there's always going to be that egoic kind of not tendency, but flair, let's say. So I mean, it is what it is. Hold on. Nice, we're making good time with this video. Try not to keep it too long here, but so like I said, prioritizing responsibilities. I've made time to spend with my little one, because like I said, this is about creating a legacy for her to follow, that she can do hard things. And her birthday's coming up. She's going to turn 10. So she's at the age where she's getting curious about what her daddy's up to, and I've been really connecting with her a lot, honestly, over the past month or two. And since separating with her mother late last year, what's this now? We're in August, so 8 months. Whatever. Late last year, I don't even know. Let's say last year, a year ago. Let's say that. That's fair. So since separating with her mother a year ago, there's been a lot of adjustments for everybody involved. Honestly, like I'm super proud of my little one's perseverance and her maturity. Like, she's going on 10, but I feel like she's grown a lot. We've connected so much. She calls me most every night, and like she likes to hang out with me, which is more than I can ask, I guess. Like, I just want to be a valuable part of her life, and to show her that she too can do hard things, because she is a lot like me in more ways than I even realize. As my girlfriend Amy likes to point out, she is basically my mini me, and I see how accurate that is. More and more every day. So prioritizing time with her, realizing that it's for her that I do all these things. And another point is to just value connections over competition. Like, there is no comparison. Like, everybody that does these sorts of things is out here for their own reasons, their own journeys. And to compare I guess it comes back to social media in a way where you're comparing, and maybe not even consciously, but there's always that subconscious aspect of comparing other people's presentation of their life, or their, you know, um, just unfairly comparing yourself, allowing that negative energy to flow out of you and kind of project it and judge others or compare yourself to others. Like, there is no comparison. You're one in a billion, and like it's no different. It's no different than meeting somebody on the street. Being compassionate with yourself, being compassionate with others, loving yourself. I think that's what it all boils down to. That's been the biggest kind of lesson slash goal the past 4 or 5 weeks, has been to really kind of get inside and learn to love myself. I've never been taught to do that. So it's been a fucking struggle to kind of dig deep, shed the layers, keep shedding layers. If you followed my videos from day one back in February, you know that I've been it's frustrating sometimes that, like, there's so many fucking layers. Like, if I were an onion, I would have so many fucking skins on me, it would be reaching to the atmosphere. But and that's what it's all about. Like, if I was sick and tired of feeling a certain way, so I was willing to do all this shit just to feel better, just to think better, to live better, to be happy, to deserve to be happy. No, I know I deserve to be happy, but to believe that I deserved more, to believe that I deserve to be happy. Yeah. So that brings me to a quote: "For suffering and enduring, there is no remedy, but striving and doing." And that's a quote by Thomas Carlyle. My girlfriend and I were watching the show Alone, so there's been some good quotes, some good lessons. And for suffering and enduring, there is no remedy, but striving and doing. To me, that says, in order to get over yourself, you need to set a goal and just take the steps in order to achieve that goal. Honestly, there once was a time where running 1 kilometer for me was monumental. And 5 kilometers and 10 kilometers, like, I never believed it was for me. It was just not in my deck of cards. But slowly and surely, like, I can run a fucking marathon now with like no without batting an eye. Honestly, I did 44K there the other day, and it was just another run, honestly. So step by step, that's how you fucking conquer these mountains, right? And spending a lot of time with my girlfriend, with her training. Her training's came to an end. Like, she's ready for Capes 100 next weekend, August 12th, I believe, is the day that it starts. So I'm excited to cheer her on. And my good buddy Luke, he wants me to pace him in for his last stretch of his 100-mile event. And it's Capes 100 being the event that changed my life last August. Finishing with 5 minutes to go before cutoff. And I'm so humbled to be in a position where I can support people that are really pushing their limits, pushing their perceptions, pushing their potential, and involving me and getting to experience this with other people. That's the underlying most valuable takeaway, is to share in the experience with people that I care about, and getting to spend so much time with the love of my life, running and laughing and splashing through puddles and getting bitten by bugs and sharing so many stories, thunder and lightning and flooded trails, and playing cards in the car until the storm passes. And honestly, I wouldn't trade any of it for the world. Like, it's been such a journey. And now it's about, her training came to an end, but mine's kind of really ramping up to the point where I'm finishing mine. So in 3 weeks I'll basically be done. But now it's more about running solo, and really facing the lessons that I've learned. Missing her, the real emotional separation anxiety. It's all kind of coming to a head here. Um, and that's what the training has been about: is to be happy, be trusting in the universe, be trusting of her, be trusting of me, and just knowing that it will all work out. To not really trust my thoughts, but to trust in the moment. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Trust in the moment, and trust in my feet. Trust in the moment, and trust in the footsteps that will carry me to the next moments and beyond. Having faith that it'll having faith that I'll make the right choices in every moment to come, and just taking it as it comes, honestly. Like, don't project yourself into the future, and certainly don't project yourself into the past. um, oh, there was a quote, I should have wrote it down: there is no past, there is no future. um, Today is the day. I think that's Instagram. Part of my Instagram post was to say that, but it's been a little refreshing. There is no past, there is no future. All we ever have is the gift of the present, the gift of the present moment. That's what it is. I think, more or less, anyway. What else do we got here? It's not what you look at that matters, it's what you see. And that's a quote by Henry David Thoreau. And I mean, that just speaks for itself. It's not what you look at that matters, it's what you see. So that comes down to perception, it comes down to awareness. You can look at yourself in the mirror and either be happy or, disgusted. I can totally relate with either one. But allowing yourself to see the potential that you might not be aware of, that quote becomes a little more powerful the more you read it and the more you think about it. It's not what you look at that matters, but it's what you see. Take that one and put it in your brain bank there. So another little couple notes here. Love builds bridges, peace feeds dragons, and joy builds fortresses in the sky. I'm a bit of a philosopher in some ways, but my girlfriend and I, the trail that we use most often has a bridge, and the rain that we ran through one night just washed it all away. So we ended up building it back again, arguably even better than it was. So that's where the love builds bridges comes in, and peace feeds dragons. Last year I was motivated by spite, by contempt, by real negative energy, but this year peace and love peace and love fill my heart, and I've never felt so motivated. And joy builds fortresses in the sky. Being so joyful that earthly temptations cannot even reach you. I'm just floating up in the sky in my fortress of love and peace and joy, that I just soar above all the stuff that I thought kept me grounded, kept me chained to the ground, honestly. Just to rise above that and to express positivity, to express my light to the world. Divine White Raven. That's just another little. Just reading through my notes here. Some trail messages. My girlfriend and I, it's like my favorite thing is to leave trail messages, just little traces of hearts and dirt, or whatever, just for her to find. See if she finds them, and she usually does. So we'll leave each other a couple messages here and there, and it's just such a neat little bonus in sharing that time with her. And we don't even run together a whole lot anymore, but to know that she's out there, to know that she found my message in the ground, and to know that she's thinking about me and I'm thinking about her, it helps. It helps really drive home the lessons that we've been drives home the lessons that we've really been seeking. We make a great team, and we realize that we can't always run together. I won't be able to run with her or see her during her first ultra marathon, and she will. I'll get to see her at like checkpoints and stuff during my event, but she certainly won't be able to run with me unless she finds a way to pace me. But I don't. Even still, um, yeah, to keep the mental state stable, being alone, and just yeah, that's I mean, it sounds so simple, but once the body hurts, the mind messes off, and something else takes over. It's real easy to wrap up in old negative subconscious habits of negative thinking and doomsday thinking and just old habits that don't no longer they don't no longer serve me. I just no longer identify with them, with the person that was using those as a tool to get by, to cope. And just identifying with somebody full of love and confidence and hope and just this human spirit that perseveres through anything. And she's been a big part of kind of shaping that and revealing my true self. She's seen the best parts of me even before I was really aware of them, and she's always expecting more, which she knows I am willing to deliver. Um, so yeah, I've been looking at a couple of pictures and posts from my Capes adventure last year. Really just getting set to get back to that environment. Honestly, I'll get to do the hills that conquered my soul last year, where my legs hurt and my honestly, it's going to be such a humbling experience because I'll have a 50-kilometer training run anyway. So to pace my buddy in for his first 100-mile buckle will be an absolute pleasure. I told him he just has to make it to me. 109 kilometers in, I'll be waiting there. Unlike the pacer that I had waiting for me, which was poof, just a ghost. I was at the lowest point of my race, and I came up to this 109 point, and I was like, yes, I get a pacer to talk to, 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever it was, and there was just crickets. And this windmill, the droning of the windmill was the most depressing sound. There was nobody around. There was cars, but nobody was in them. And I was ghosted. And it made me who I am. Like, I'm a nighttime specialist, I guess you could say. I can run alone. I can run in the dark. I can fucking do whatever I put my mind to. So to be asked to pace my buddy for his adventure, it's an honor. Honestly, it's an honor to cheer my girlfriend in and support her for her adventure. And so we'll get to hang out for a little bit. Yeah, so once she finishes, I'm just so excited to cheer her in. So once she finishes, we'll hang out for a little bit, probably take a nap and eat and whatnot, and then we will get set to pace my friend later that night, probably around midnight-ish. Yeah, and it's going to be so fun to be back in that spot where 51 kilometers. Yeah, that's where the real battle happens, and I'll be humbled to be there for him as he fights his own battles, and to support him and know that my girlfriend is there waiting at the finish to cheer us both in, and like he's gonna have family there. And I catch myself sometimes being a little anxious. I'll have to run without her for 51 kilometers. There's always that little side. It's like, oh God, no. But it's going to be great. She's going to be very proud of her accomplishments. I'll be so proud of her, and I'll be honored to be part of my buddy's experience. And for him to earn his first 100-mile buckle, and I know he's had a couple cracks at it, and he's been a bit disappointed so far, but I told him if he makes it to me, when he makes it to me at 109 kilometers, I will do my damnedest to make sure that he finishes that event. And then it's on to the divide after that. There's really nothing else. After next week, it's just focusing in on developing a Divide 200 plan, getting drop bags, pacers lined up. I have a couple pacers lined up already, but just the scheduling and the timing and the gear selection and this and that. So that's where we're at. That brings us up to week whatever it is now. We're in week 17. I just did a quick recap of week 17, I guess. Which is an easy week for me. So next 3 weeks are going to be build weeks. The last 3 build weeks of this the training. So, man, oh man, what a process! What a process. Anyways, I'll leave it there. This video's got a lot longer than I intended, but once the dragon gets going, it's hard for him to stop. But peace, love, and clarity as always. Feed the dragon. Feed the dragon of peace, I guess. But you know what? At the end of the day, as long as you're feeding a dragon, you're going to end up on the right path. I think it happened for me. Just be aware of the energy that you're putting out to the universe, and realize that energy is going to come back to you one day, and hopefully it's an experience well earned and lessons well learned. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but there you go. Anyways, dragons, that's about it. I think I said everything I want to say. Did I say peace, love, and clarity already? Probably. Alright, I'll see you in next couple weeks maybe. But yeah, we're just going to keep pushing on. The elevation numbers look scary, but we made it this far. Alright, peace out.